Procurement using federal funding for household programs. Procurement. Procurement is a multi-step process for obtaining goods or services at the best available price. Procurement provides accountability, the efficient use of taxpayer dollars, and reasonable assurance that the best buy is obtained. This training covers emergency purchasing, micro-purchasing, and informal purchasing. Agency responsibilities. The agency is responsible for each step in the procurement process. An agency is not to be guided by vendors' opinions or other influence. A vendor cannot be given the sole authority to follow proper procurement practices. Agencies must read regulations and become familiar with their requirements as found in uniform guidance and program regulations. When in doubt, contact MDE Food Distribution for guidance. Starting the process. In Michigan, purchases using funds of $5,000 or more for household programs must be approved by the Michigan Department of Education, MDE, prior to beginning procurement. Contact MDE at the beginning of the process when you decide to make a purchase of $5,000 or more required, or if you need guidance on micro-purchasing at $10,000 or less. MDE will guide you to ensure that all the necessary steps are covered each step of the way to avoid the need to start over due to missing a required part of the process. Emergency purchasing. In the event of an emergency, do what is needed for safety and then immediately call MDE if a purchase of goods and/or services over $5,000 is involved. For example, your delivery truck breaks down. First, have the truck towed to safety if needed. Contact MDE prior to starting the procurement process either for repairs or a new truck. MDE will help guide you through the most efficient procurement method to ensure proper approval for your purchase. Micro-purchasing method. There is a $10,000 threshold for using micro-purchasing. The agency is required to contact MDE for approval of purchases over $5,000. Micro-purchasing does not require competitive bids since it compares vendor prices. The agency must distribute purchases equitably among qualified, similar suppliers who are in close proximity, physical location, or otherwise accessible, online or other access. Micro-purchasing may not be used in place of applicable procurement methods that may achieve a more economical approach or break a purchase into separate purchases to fall under the $10,000 threshold. Micro-purchases must be documented. Make notes of phone calls and keep all emails, receipts, invoices, etc. Micro-purchasing example. Your agency needs a repair for a delivery truck. The cost is under $10,000, and 3 mechanics in your area charge similar labor and parts costs for repairs. You have information from their advertisements or requested quotes to document that they offer similar services and pricing. Keep information up to date and on file for reference. You may select one vendor to repair your truck this time, another vendor to repair the truck next time, and then the third vendor the following time. Repeat the schedule as repairs are needed. Any repairs over $10,000 would need to follow informal procurement practices. This schedule creates an equitable opportunity for all 3 mechanics to do business with you and eliminates the need to secure 3 bids for each repair since you have documentation of similar services and pricing. This method may prove useful when trucks break down on the road, as it allows you several ready-to-go options for quick repairs at several locations across your delivery area if needed. 5 basic steps of a micro-purchase. There are 5 basic steps to micro-purchasing. Follow these steps to meet procurement expectations. Develop specifications. Conduct market research to determine reasonable price. Contact a vendor and make the purchase. Maintain documentation and manage the contract. Distribute micro-purchases equitably among qualified suppliers. Competition has occurred since you have documented pricing and service information for vendors. Informal procurement method. Informal procurement takes place when a purchase is less than $150,000. Agencies must follow steps in the correct order to meet regulations. This is a relatively simple process. The agency is looking for a vendor that is both responsive, meaning that they show interest in providing a product or service, and responsible, meaning that they have the capacity to provide what is needed. The agency contacts MDE for approval of purchases of $5,000 or more. Obtains 3 sources that are eligible, able, and willing. Requests and documents the same information from all prospective vendors. Documents their effort to get 3 responses to bid. Documents when vendors do not respond to request for bid. Submits procurement documentation to MDE for review before awarding bid. Awards the contract to lowest bidder. Maintains documentation. Keeps notes of phone calls, emails, invoices, responses, and scoring. Clear and thorough specifications example. Some basic elements of a truck you want to purchase. Your agency needs to buy a truck. You want to ensure that all potential vendors are asked for the same information. You contact them by email and let them know you are looking for a new truck that meets the following information. Identify product, required features, condition, delivery fees, buy or lease, other necessary requirements. Delivery truck, 22 to 30-foot box truck, automatic transmission, color white, new or used, will pick up. Either will be considered. Maintenance contract, liftgate. When asking vendors questions. During the procurement process, vendors may have questions regarding what you want to purchase. Please keep in mind the following expectations when responding to questions from vendors. You must prepare questions before contacting any vendors. All vendors must be asked the same questions. If a vendor asks a question to get additional information, you must provide the answer to all interested vendors to avoid any real or perceived favoritism. Answers must be documented before scoring bids. You must prepare scoring structure and categories before contacting any vendors. Scoring considerations for bids. You must establish your scoring guidelines before contacting any vendors to establish fair competition. When considering what to score, you should establish scoring practices that can be explained in the event of a bid protest. Bid protests happen when a vendor questions the outcome of the procurement process. Here are some things to consider, along with a comparison to our truck purchase example. Decide which features are important for your purchase. A best practice is to award points that total 100 points. The scored totals create numbers that are easy to understand, like scoring a test in school. Price must always be the category with the highest awarded points. You have 100 points to split up among your chosen categories. Price only must be more points than the next highest category. For this truck purchase example, we have chosen that price is worth 50 points. Product features. Do you want a truck with automatic transmission or stick shift? What size of truck? Do you need a lift or no lift? Do you prefer the color of the truck? Each of these categories are assigned a point value. The things you want score higher than the things you don't want. When it comes to scoring, there are several ways to assign points. To score price, the lowest bid could be worth full points, and each subsequent bid could be worth 10 less than the one before. For our truck example, we set 50 points as the highest score, so we award 50 points for lowest price, 40 points for second lowest, 30 points for third lowest. Point scale points. You could have multiple scoring elements, some worth 5, 10, 15, or 25 points. For example, you prefer a 26-foot long truck, but would consider shorter trucks that were at least 22 feet long. 26 feet or longer, 20 points. 22 to 24 feet, 10 points. 22 feet or less, 0 points. Yes or no points. Yes or no questions are to be given all points for the answer or 0 points, no in between. If you want the truck to be an automatic, award 5 points for automatic, 0 points for stick shift. Does it have a lift? 15 points for yes, 0 points for no. New truck scoring example. Our completed truck purchase example would look like this. Price. 50 points for price. 50 points for lowest price. 10 less for next lowest, etc. Specifications: 50 points for combined specifications below. Automatic transmission, 5 points. 5 points for yes, 0 points for no. Lift, 15 points. 15 points for yes, 0 points for no. 26 to 30 feet long, 10 points. 10 points for 26 to 30 feet, 5 points for 22 to 24 feet, 0 points for less than 22 feet. Color of truck, white, 10 points. 10 points for white, 5 points for black, 0 points for other colors. New or used, 5 points. 5 points for new, 3 points for used. Maintenance contract, 5 points. 5 points for yes, 0 points for no. Total points available, 100 points. Keep documentation. You are required to keep procurement documentation for 3 years plus the current year. Make sure to adhere to all the following steps. Ensures all communications with the vendors are documented. Required for all communication: phone, email, face-to-face, etc. Keep all information for each procurement together in one place. Document each stage of the process. Document who conducted the evaluation. Keep documentation of the procurement process.